The tennis world was still buzzing from the shockwaves of Eala's historic DC Open victory. A 21-year-old from the Philippines had just dismantled world number 3 Jessica Pegula to win her first WTA Tour title. She had climbed to a career-high ranking of world number 20. She had become the first Filipino, male or female, to win a WTA singles title. But the celebration was short-lived, because even before she could catch her breath, Eala was on a plane heading north. The National Bank Open in Toronto was waiting, and the Eala Mania phenomenon was about to cross international borders. She arrived as a champion. She arrived as a history maker. The news broke before she even stepped on a court. The National Bank Open organizers announced that tickets for Eala's opening night session had completely sold out. A Wednesday night session, a first-round match, on a weekday, during the early stages of a tournament. The feat was unprecedented. In the last 20 years of the tournament in Toronto, only one other player had achieved this, Serena Williams. Even the legendary Big Three of Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, and Roger Federer had not been able to sell out an opening Wednesday session. Toronto had never seen anything like this, and Eala hadn't even stepped on the court yet. The arrival of Eala in Toronto was nothing short of a royal procession. She landed in Canada carrying the weight of her historic DC Open victory. But she also carried something else, the hopes of a nation of 110 million people. Fresh off her title run in Washington, Eala barely had time to process her triumph before shifting her focus to Toronto. The WTA 1000 event had already begun, and Eala was seeded 25th, receiving a first-round bye. Her opening match was scheduled for August 5th, giving her barely more than 24 hours between the conclusion of the Washington final and her second-round match in Toronto. But the grueling schedule didn't dampen the excitement. The Filipino community in Canada had mobilized. The Greater Toronto Area, GTA, is home to over 250,000 individuals of Filipino descent, making it the largest Filipino community in Canada. They were ready to turn Toronto into Eala country, and they had already made their presence felt. Even before Eala arrived, the Eala Mania phenomenon had crossed borders. Tickets for her opening night session were completely sold out. In the last 20 years of the tournament in Toronto, only Serena Williams had achieved this feat. The Big Three, Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, had all failed to sell out an opening Wednesday session. The numbers spoke for themselves. Eala's popularity had reached unprecedented levels. The sold-out session in Toronto was just the latest chapter in the Eala Mania phenomenon that had swept the tennis world. At the Australian Open, Eala's first-round match had to be moved because fans overwhelmed the outside courts. Thousands of Filipinos traveled from across Australia, carrying flags and wearing custom jerseys just to catch a glimpse of their hero. Security had to turn people away. In Washington, tournament chairman Mark Ein had revealed just how massive Eala's impact has been. Over the last month, the ticketing team says at least 80%, if not more, of the requests in this tournament are about when is Eala playing? Honestly, I think it's more. It's not an exaggeration. Now, in Toronto, the phenomenon had reached new heights. The National Bank Open, a tournament that had never seen a first-round session sell out on a weekday, was forced to turn fans away. The demand was so intense that even the biggest names in tennis couldn't match it. The selling out of an opening session on Wednesday puts Eala on par with the great Serena Williams, who is the only other player to have done so, reported Tennis Connected. For a player who had just won her first WTA title, the achievement was staggering. But for a player from the Philippines, it was historic. Eala arrived in Toronto carrying the momentum of the biggest victory of her career. Her DC Open run had been nothing short of extraordinary. In the first round, she faced Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen, the woman who had beaten her at the 2023 Asian Games. Down a set and a break, Eala stormed back to win 7 consecutive games and seal the victory. Then came defending champion Leylah Fernandez. Eala was down 1-5 in the second set and came roaring back to win the match in a tiebreak. She then stunned second seed Alina Svitolina in the quarterfinals, dispatched third seed Naomi Osaka in the semifinals, and completed her dream run by toppling Pegula in the championship match. Reflecting on the path she had to navigate, Eala admitted it was one of the toughest weeks of her career. It was a very steep hill, she said. Coming into the tournament, I knew that the competition was super strong and my draw was quite tough. Every match was just a different set of obstacles. So I'm really, really proud. The title further cemented Eala's growing reputation as one of the tour's most dangerous giant killers. With the victory over Pegula, she improved to 9 wins in 13 career matches against top 10 opponents. Now, the focus quickly shifted to Toronto. Eala was set to face American Alicia Parks, who had defeated her in the first round of the Australian Open earlier in the year. But Parks would not be facing the same Alex she defeated in January. This time, Eala entered the court as a champion, battle-tested, fearless, and backed by thousands of roaring supporters. Despite the sold-out session and the overwhelming support, the challenge ahead was immense. The National Bank Open is a WTA 1000 event, a tournament rated just one rung below the Grand Slams. The competition would be fierce. Eala was placed in the lower half of the draw, which included reigning Wimbledon champion and 6th seed Linda Noskova, number 12 Belinda Bencic, and her good friend number 13 Iva Jovic. But Eala was undeterred. She had proven that she could beat anyone on any surface. She had beaten Olympic gold medalists, defending champions, and 4-time Grand Slam winners. She had won her first WTA title on hard courts, a surface she was still developing on. So many takeaways from this tournament. Eala said after the championship, "I think I ended the tournament in better shape than I started. Each match I kept improving and kept learning things about myself. So it definitely gives me a lot of confidence." The confidence was backed by tangible results. She was now ranked number 20 in the world. She was seated at a WTA 1000 event, and she had the support of a nation behind her. Eala's arrival in Toronto was more than just a tennis story. It was a testament to the journey she had undertaken. From the cracked courts of Quezon City to the biggest stages in the world. From a 13-year-old girl alone in Spain to a national hero celebrated by presidents and adored by millions. From being told she couldn't do it to becoming the first Filipino WTA champion. And now, she had achieved something that even the legendary Big Three could not. She had sold out a Wednesday night session at a WTA 1000 event in Toronto. The feat was a testament to her growing global appeal. The Filipino community in Canada had turned out in force. The demand for tickets was so high that organizers were forced to turn fans away. And Eala hadn't even stepped on the court yet. "She's got the fire," Serena Williams had said of Eala. "That's something you can't teach. You either have it or you don't." And she has it. The fire was burning bright in Toronto, and the tennis world was watching. Laban Lang, always. And remember, on RallyVerse, we bring you the stories that define the sport, the drama, the arrivals, the moments that change everything. Stay tuned for more.